Good morning, good afternoon. Hi everyone. Hi Kavindu. Hi Janbi. Hi Deepak Tix. Oh wait, I just realized something. Ah, it would help to turn on the camera. Hey BL, how you doing? Hey, put your hands up. Put your hands up. I can't see it because you don't have your video on, but put your hands up if you did jump into any of the trades that we spoke about yesterday. A lot of good trades yesterday. A lot of take profits hit yesterday. Hoping to keep that run going today, but let's see. Hey Marmavelli, how are you doing? Did you get into the trades? Yes, very good trades yesterday and today. Fantastic, BL. Hey Shah, 6969, how are you doing? I've been super busy this morning. I haven't done any of the analysis at all today, so I will continue on with that after this session. But we'll do the live session now, and then after that, I'll post up the analysis as well. All right. So those of you who are missing, you're feeling a little gap in your day with no analysis to read, it is coming out soon. Hey Nick, how you doing? Fantastic, Kavindu. I'm super happy you got good trades. JMB took the NZD USD. That worked like a charm. That worked like a charm. I got into that as well. Right after I clicked end, I jumped onto my MT4, jumped onto a trade. Hey, ASD GFH 45, how you doing? Alrighty, one more minute and we shall get started. Thank you all for joining nice and early. One more minute and we shall get started. Nick took NZD as well, got in during the session last night. Super. I got into the NZD, I got into the pound dollar and also the CAD. So very big trade, very big results last night. I was super happy. I scalped the yen because it started dropping as the dollar dropped, but then got a quick flip onto the Kiwi, the pound, and also the CAD. Very good to hear that you guys are jumping into trades. Very good to see the action being taken. So let's get started. All right. So again, thank you all for attending the daily market analysis. Today is Tuesday, the 4th of April, 4/4. We do this on a daily basis where I look into or I guide you through, I share with you my views of the fundamentals, what has happened, what is likely to happen coming up. We look at the technicals in terms of looking at the way price is moving, whether it's reacting to a support level, bouncing off a support or resistance level, or that. Together, we put it together. Then we look at some possible trade setups. Okay. Again, I was just saying that super happy that a couple of our trade setups worked out quite nicely from yesterday's session. All right. So again, for the regulars, welcome back. Thank you for attending. You know the drill. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it into the chat. Let me know. I'll be happy to repeat, elaborate further on any points that we're discussing. And then also for the people who are joining us for the first time, welcome to the community. Happy to have you here. Do let me know where you're joining me from. I love to find out. And also because you're new, drop a message, say hi, let me know that you are here. And also, if you have any questions, we're a friendly bunch, we're a very friendly bunch. So, put it into the chat. Let me know if you have any questions. If you have any particular pairs you want me to look at, I'll be happy to do that as well. All right. What else was I going to say is that I was going to say something. I have something that I'm thinking of sharing with you guys for now, but maybe tomorrow. Oh, one more thing is that as much as I do the daily market analysis on a daily basis, I do want to do some educational content for you guys as well. The last ones, the two previous ones we did was fundamental analysis, just giving you that, that quick educational session on how to do fundamental analysis. We talked about themes of the markets, what news to pay attention to, which ones to focus at this point in time, and as the market shifts, where to look into. And then after that, we moved on to Fibonacci retracements, what to pay attention, how to use it, how to apply it, points to consider as you apply this to your trading strategy. So what I'm asking you all for now, I'm planning to do the next session, education session tomorrow, looking for a topic. All right, I'm looking for a topic. I'm looking for a suggestion on a topic. So if you have any areas that you would like to find out more about, please let me know. Put it into the chat. Let me know which areas can I help you with. I'll be happy to do. If it's something I'm familiar with, something that I can add on to more than what you'll find online, then I will be able to do a session for you guys on that topic. Okay, so looking for the suggestions to come around. Hey, I'm Leader, how are you doing? Hey, Ayo Delhi from Dublin, good to have you here. Thank you for attending. So with that, let's move on. A quick disclaimer is that any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. Your objectives, financial situation, and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. And always remember to do your own due diligence, because the contents of this webinar is not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product. So if you do jump into any trades, please do your own due diligence. Things to consider. It's really whether it fits with your own trading strategy, whether it fits with your own risk profile. Other things to consider is, if you jump into a trade, are you someone who, wants to watch the trade as it happens? Do you have time to watch the trade? The size that you're jumping onto or jumping into the trade with, all that put together, that's what really, I would like to say, as much as I can, the identifying of a trade setup is relatively easy, right? Relatively easy. The hard part is really managing the trade sizing, the risk profile, the psychology, the mentality, and the approach of while you're in a trade. So make sure you consider all that, not just focus on to jumping onto a trade just because it's something that we looked at or we considered during this session. Okay, and also, if you find good information during this webinar, if you find it useful, helpful, informative, effective, efficient, and all that kind of stuff, do help me out. Click that little rocket ship button on TradingView. And also, if you're on YouTube, click that thumbs up button. Do remember to subscribe on YouTube and also on TradingView. All right, there is a competition. There's an ongoing competition between the people on YouTube and on TradingView. Right now, it's tied with the rocket ships and the thumbs up. So we're going to see who wins towards the end of the session. All right, you don't get a prize for winning. You don't get any disbenefits for losing, but it's just something that we're going to do. Alrighty, so let's keep going. Now, looking at the news, I know we will be talking about the cash rate that happened just this afternoon, 12:30 GMT plus 8. But before that, right, we saw a big drop on the dollar index last night, primarily driven by this news on the US, 10 p.m. GMT plus 8, where we saw the ISM manufacturing PMI. A little bit of a surprise, right? I think I was telling you guys that we were looking at it at that 47.5, possibly a little bit lower. Bit of a surprise that it came out at that 46.3 number. All right. So it was 47.7, expected a small drop to 47.5. got released at 46.3. That signals a more significant, not a huge, but a more significant slowdown in the manufacturing sector for the US. Right, PMI is the Purchasing Managers Index. It gives a bit. It's a bit of a leading indicator into how the respective sector is doing. So you see that manufacturing sector below 50 is in contraction, and it's even in a faster contraction. So 47.5 came out at 46.3. So that's one of the main reason why we saw the dollar index. You can see here on the dollar index, this was at 9 and 10 o'clock. It was trending. I'll zoom in a bit. All right. Oops, where did my box go? All right. We saw this drop through the session. We were talking about this at 3 p.m. as it was forming. We're looking for this to drop. I thought it was going to get to that 102.40 level. But then at 9 and 10 o'clock, we saw it drop strongly to test and retest the 102 round number support level. Okay, so with that move tested early this morning, bounced a little bit. Now looks like it's going to be possibly not ready yet. A very key support level here at 102. You can see since end of March, 23rd of March, and then most recently 30th of March, and now in early April, testing that support level. Okay, so we're looking at this point for that. If it does break, then we could see further downside on the dollar index. All right, if it does break that 102 level, where could it get to? Now let's look at it on H4 time frame just to look for a next support level. I would say 101.60. So 101.59, 101.60 was the last time it found that level and bounced off. Hey, morning, I am Miko, and hi, Angel Case. How are you doing? TradingView will win. Come on, I am Miko. I look forward to that too. All right, so everyone on TradingView, I am Miko has set the challenge for you guys. Make sure that everyone on TradingView clicks on that rocket ship button and make sure you win. Okay, so we're looking at the next key support level beyond 102. It will be at 101.60. Hey Spiros, how are you doing? So that was on the H4 time frame. Now coming back to the H1. Oops, move this box back. I keep losing this box. Very important box here, because this box is where we put in the summary to just give you the views of where, a summary of what we're talking about through this session. Okay. Now, let me see. Today being the 4th of April. We're looking for the dollar index to break 102 with the support level at 1 with the next support level at 101.60. Okay, so we're looking for a continuation of that downside. You can see not a lot of, I wouldn't overcomplicate it with too much technical analysis and all that kind of stuff, just because you can see it's just trending down. It's rebound slightly. We're looking for that break. A confirmation of the downside would be if it breaks below 101.90, then we're most likely going to see a continuation to the downside towards 101.60. All right. Hey, SY Wong, how you doing? Good to see you. So that's easy, straightforward on the dollar index, looking for it to break 102 with the next support at 101.60. Now, coming back to the news today was that, remember yesterday when I was looking, I was giving a bit of a heads up on the Aussie cash rate, RBA cash rate's decision, and I saw it at 3.6%, and the forecast was at 3.85. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was sitting there going, it's a bit of a surprise, right? Why are they anticipating a 25 basis point rate hike to come from the RBA, considering that we are, inflation or CPI in Australia has slowed down quite significantly. All that put together, I was like, well, market seems to be expecting a 25 basis point rate hike. Data or CPI data didn't seem to support that idea. I'm not sure when they changed the forecast, but this morning when I was looking at this, I saw 3.6%, and it got released at 3.6. So no change in interest rates from the Aussie, right, from the RBA for the Aussie dollar. And if you look at the rate statement, right, the most recent rate statement, they decided to leave it unchanged at 3.6%. And the main reason, not really the main reason, but the supporting reason is that, where was it? The target is to return inflation to its target level of 2 to 3%. Further tightening may well be needed to ensure that it gets to the target level, but they hold it steady to give it more time to assess the state of the economy and outlook and an environment of considerable uncertainty. Okay. In general, what it means is that they were looking to see that whether the rate increases or the previous rate increases is going to have that continual impact. Right, the previous rate increases are going to have a continual impact in bringing down inflation. Right, in bringing down inflation, we've already seen 2 months of that effect taking place. Now it's a consideration of whether it's going to continue on. All right, so that's what we are, and that's why we have seen them hold interest rates at that 3.6%. As I was telling you before, whenever the Aussie, all right, whenever the RBA held interest rates, whenever they increased interest rates, we did see the Aussie dollar drop, right? We did see the Aussie dollar drop. So there was no big surprise. I'll zoom in a bit. No big surprise that given they held interest rates, we saw the Aussie dollar drop. Typically, when they increase rates, you expect the currency to go up. What we actually saw was that through all the previous rates decision, the Aussie dollar drops. This time, no change or holding rates, so we're looking at this continuing down. This view that we were looking at yesterday, obviously we were thinking that it's going to get up to that 0.6730 test and reject and turn down on the interest rate decision today. Didn't happen, so I'll take that away. But right now, look at it. It's forming up. Right, the second trade idea we had was for it to come up. Ideally, was to test that 0.6760 level and turn down. It didn't do that. It actually went a little bit higher, almost to 0.68, and turned down. Okay, so at 0.68, as we saw that rejection along that round number resistance level, or the round number level, my idea was that if it fails to break, we're going to see it drop, and it has done that. So I'm actually working on something where I can give you guys live updates, not just waiting for this session to update you, because it might be a little bit late. You would have missed out on some pips there. So we're working on something there to give you guys the live update. At this point, what I'm looking for is if the dollar, let's zoom in a bit. Oops, where is it? Come back. If the dollar does break to the downside, right? If it does break that 102 level, and it looks like it's doing that now to the downside, then that should drive the Aussie up. right? It should drive the Aussie up. But not changing rates, not doing too much. It's looking like it's going to consolidate at this point, right? So I'm looking at Aussie dollar possibly pushing down, right? Aussie dollar trying to go down, but given that the dollar index is trading down as well, it's trying to push it up, it's likely to consolidate within this range. So let me just take this away for now. It's going to consolidate between that 6760 and 6.68, 0.68. All right, so within this 40 pips, the most, I don't want to say that the most likely scenario, but what would be driving the Aussie dollar would be the direction of the dollar index. So if this does break to the downside to test this 101.60 level, then what I would be looking for on the Aussie is a rebound. I would love to sell it down. I would love to sell it down because it is at a very high level. It is at a very high level. I'm conflicted. Naturally, I would say, if the dollar index does drop, in this case, then we're going to see the Aussie dollar bounce back up. But I think that we might see this trade to the downside, right? That pressure hitting that 0.68 level, it's happened once here, came close, right, on the 1st of March, where it tested that level and traded down. Right now, looking like it's doing the same thing again. So what you could be looking for here on the Aussie dollar is selling, say 0.6750, stop loss relatively tight at about 20 pips. Take profit, I would say you can even try. Oh wait, how do I get rid of this? Take profit, you could do this. So it could come down to test this level, because this is just a high point. So we can take that away. I'll be a bit safer and say at about 6740, 30 pip stop loss, 60 pip take profit. That would be a reasonable trade for the downside. Okay? What do you think about the DAX this morning? I will get to the DAX shortly. I can get to the DAX shortly. Oops, take that away. So Aussie dollar, I'm looking for it to break 0.6740, sell down, 30, stop loss 30, take profit 60. Okay, so that's the Aussie dollar. If it does break this level and turn down, then we're looking at 6740. Let's update that. Sell at 0.6740. Try to keep it the same format. Stop loss 30, take profit 60. It looks like it's struggling. Dollar index is struggling to break that 102 level. So that's possibly why we're seeing some downside pressure on the Aussie dollar. Then looking at the Kiwi, this is a trade that we spoke very in detail about yesterday. This was at 3 o'clock, right? So as we were talking at 3, we saw the candle close in the start of the 4 o'clock candle. It was wicking down a little bit, and we said, I was telling you guys, the moment I turn off the stream, I'm going to jump onto my MT4 and jump into a trade. And I did exactly that. So I did this exact trade, 6230. In fact, I got in maybe 6231 in that level, around that level. I did have my take profit at that 60 pip level, right? At the 60 pip level, that high. My stop loss below the trend line, and that was a quick, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. Quickest, well, not the quickest, I've done quicker, but a quick 60 pip profit on the Kiwi dollar as a shot to the upside why it shot up is really because of that dollar dropping. Okay, so that was a trade. You took that. Good job, Spiros. Well done. M Leader had a huge run on the Kiwi dollar when I was away from my screen, about 60 pips, and gave it back in afternoon and scalping the Swiss yen. I didn't talk about the Swiss yen, so good. At least you had that 60 pip plus profit on the Kiwi dollar to reduce the pain of um, the Swiss yen, right, M Leader? So at least you had that profit to reduce the pain, slightly reduce the pain. So I'm very happy to see Spiros jumping onto that trade. You're most welcome. I'm glad you did do that. I'm glad M Leader got into that trade as well. Anyone else got into the Kiwi dollar? I got into the Kiwi dollar as well. So anyone else, who else got into the Kiwi dollar? Do let me know. All right. At this point right now, look, we highlighted this resistance area, and I didn't change the lines, and it's reacting very nicely to the lines. Went up to the 0.6310 level, failed to break higher, looking like it's going to turn down. You can see the last time it tested this level again on the 16th of March, big downside move. Right now, we're looking to see whether it's going to close below this point. So it's a repeat again, right? I drew a circle there, and again, right now, if I did a circle here, looking for this break to the downside, we can almost put this. Am I moving a whole line? Wait. We can almost look at that as a trend line to the upside. Then we could be looking at the Kiwi dollar looking to sell down. Could be a lot safer this time, maybe at about that 0.6280 level. Stop loss about 20 pips, or maybe even I don't want 15. I'll say about 20 pips. I would say take profit at about 40 or 50 pips to the downside. So I'm just looking for this same pattern. Bounced off that level, went up, test a resistance, came back down, bounced back up, or bounced back halfway, came back down, bounced back upward. And it's just a repeated pattern over and over again. So I'm just sitting here, looking for it to break this support to trade down, right? Let's see whether that happens. If it does break above 6310, 0.6310, that's going to mean that we've seen big downside move on the dollar index. So it's going to push to the upside. I would say that I'll be extra careful in terms of whether to buy this up, because the last time we broke above this level was in Feb, with the next key resistance at 6390. So about an 80 pip move to the upside. I'll be more interested in this break down, right? Rather than for it to break up. If it breaks up, then we could be looking at other trades instead. So 6280, 20 pip to 50 pips. Looking to sell 0.62, what am I doing? 0.6280, was it 80? I'm confused. 6280, yes, 20 to 450. Stop loss 20, take profit 50. All right. Again, hey, as much as we did well on yesterday's Kiwi dollar, please remember disclaimer still applies. All right. Oh, and Spiro's BL jumped into Kiwi dollar as well. Well done. Okay. At least no loss for the week yet. Hey, no loss for the week period. Okay, it is Tuesday. Tomorrow, Wednesday, and then Thursday. Do remember that we are heading into the Good Friday, the Easter Monday period. So liquidity, volatility might be a little bit lower heading into Thursday, because it's going to be a long weekend for a lot of major economies. So might be the chance, the opportunity to take a slight break. All right. So that's the Kiwi dollar done. Okay, yen. Yen, I was looking at this. I was telling you guys I was scalping it up. Failed to break above that 133.80 level, turned back down. So take that away. Trade didn't trigger. Why it turned back down? Dollar weakness, obviously. Given that it's came down, this trend line doesn't matter anymore. We could see another one here. Right, we could see another one here. I do think that very good M leader. M leader just said that he'll be away till next Tuesday. Today will be last day trading for the week. Let's keep it at a no loss for the week. Let's make some profit as well, right? Dollar yen looking like it's consolidating just below that 133. So 132.97. I'll say 133. Update this and say it's a resistance level. If it does break to the upside, then I would still be very careful. All right, I would still be very careful, just because the dollar index is at that level. If it does bounce, we could see it push up. Why I say be very careful is because if you were looking to buy this up, you would have a 80 pip, 60, 70 pip to the upside. Stop loss would be reasonably about 30 to 40 pips to the downside. It's just very choppy. It's just very choppy price action on the US yen at this point. I do think it has a chance to get up there, but I would also be quite interested to see if price is able to get up to this point and then reject. Then you might have a bit of a shoulder, head, and shoulder pattern with a bit of a diagonal neckline. This is not a perfect setup, but it seems like that could form. And then if it does come down and it breaks below this trend line, then we could see quite significant downside on the US yen. All right. So I would say that it's probably worth not taking the risk on the US yen at this point, especially given that it's so close to that 133 level. Hey, Robbie, how you doing? Robbie did drop me a message yesterday. What did Robbie say? He dropped me a message yesterday and said, hang on a second, that he had 89 pips yesterday. He had 89 pips yesterday on the US yen and on the euro dollar. So very good trades there, Robbie. Okay, so US yen at this point, I would say it's forming up for something, potentially something, but I would say no trade for now. Okay. Now, next one is the pound dollar. Someone did say pound dollar was shooting up. We saw that pushing to the upside. Why is it pushing up? Checking the news. No major news. FCA decision on synthetic US dollar LIBOR. Maybe, but I don't think it would be because of that. UK is set to join the Trans-Pacific Free Trade Pact of the Indo-Pacific countries. Maybe, but I doubt that will drive prices either. So that trade, we signaled this yesterday as well. I didn't get into this. I couldn't get into all the trades, but that went up. Anyone got into the pound dollar yesterday? It's still a 70-something pip move to the upside. Anyone got into pound dollar? No, actually, I did get into the pound dollar. I got into Kiwi pound, and I didn't get into the euro. I got into the pound as it pushed up. Can't remember where I got in, but that was the pound dollar trade. I got into pound, CAD, and Kiwi, correct. Okay, so let me know if you did get into the pound dollar. We saw that very nice push to the upside. Right now, looks like it's continuing the push up, right? It's found that support at 1.24, retraced slightly, and then bounced up. Again, now found that resistance almost at that 1.2450 level. What we could be looking for is on the H4 time frame, if it does break that resistance. It'd be interesting if it does break that resistance. It's held very strong since December last year, failed to break above. All right, and the last time it broke above was in June last year. Right, last time it broke above was in June last year. I would like, you know what I would like to see? I would like to see the pound dollar do this. I like to see it try and break up and then after that turn back down again. Right? I'd like to see it break because it's just such a high level. That 1.2450 is such a high level that I do think there's a lot of pending orders, stop loss levels at that point. We're going to see very choppy price action beyond this major key resistance level. So we're looking for it to break and then possibly a very choppy price action and a big retrace back down. Counter trend trade idea here. To be extra safe, you could be looking at selling down, similar action that we saw on Friday last week. If it does break down from that 1.24 level, so 1.23, say 1.2390, stop loss maybe about a 30 pips. Take profit would be, we could be looking at even a 90 pips. So a big retrace back down if it does break, and then big counter trend move back down again. All right. So that's the pound dollar. This is a risky, well, it's not risky, it does come back down. So counter trend, sell at 1.24, 1.2390, 2390, stop loss about 30, and TP about 90 pips. Okay, so that was the pound dollar. Looking for it to break, choppy price action on top, major high, big swing high level, and then looking for that big retrace back down. I wouldn't be looking to sell too early, just might be a little bit too risky to sell too early. So I'm looking for it to have a confirmation to break below that 1.24 round number support level. Then euro dollar. Okay, euro dollar, I was actually very keen. So I was debating by myself whether I should be looking at getting onto the euro dollar or the pound dollar for the trade yesterday. And why I didn't get into the euro is just because it was that high there. I do note the resistance at that 1.0940 area, but there was a high and very choppy action here at about 1.0915. So because of that, I didn't choose the euro. I chose the pound instead. It did go up. Could have made good profits there as well. Right now, possibly we're going to have to wait, right? Especially after a big move, a day where we had big move like yesterday. Typically, what I would always suggest is, or not suggest, or typically how price usually reacts after that is some consolidation, very choppy price action. Okay, so we saw the big move yesterday. I think that for the euro to continue moving up, it does need to break above this 1.0935 resistance level. Alternatively, it would be that similar move that we saw last week where it fails to break above this interim level, right? And then it turns back down. Okay, so you see here that On the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar, we're looking for that sell down, looking for that dollar possibly, maybe to regain or retracement back down. We're looking for this dollar index to push down, counter trend on the pound dollar. I'm even looking at the euro dollar possibly trading lower. That's just because of how the dollar index is reacting to that 102 level, right? So I would say that, and we're running the risk here where, everything we're looking at is looking to sell down despite the dollar trading lower. And it's not a great trade. I would love to have that there. So it's a 1:1. I don't like this. And you guys know that whenever I'm uncomfortable with a trade, I struggle to tell you what to do. That's a resistance. I would say that maybe what you could be looking for here is for price to break above the resistance and to trade up towards the 1.10 level, 1.1030 level. All right, so we have this trade, 80 pips up, 30 to 40 pips down, 1:2. Yeah, okay, I'll be happy with that. Europe won't be impacted by higher oil price. They do have some higher. They will have some impact on the higher oil price, but I'll show you oil prices. It's hasn't after the news, after that big gap, it hasn't really scaled strongly to the upside. So might be limited impact for now. As I'm talking, it's moving up, but I think that it's going to consolidate around this level. So I might be looking at this push. Okay, why I'm considering this? So let me just put this down first. Euro dollar at about 1.0945. Stop loss 40 pips. Take profit 80 pips. Okay, 1.0945. Stop loss 40. TP 80. Okay, so why did I tell you this? Is because I am still looking at the dollar weakening, dollar pushing down. So if we are looking at the Kiwi and the Aussie looking to sell down, pound looking for a counter trend, that's just signaling that rebound on the dollar index, right? But with the buyers on the dollar dropping or weakening further, then we're also considering that upside push on the euro. So it's a scenario or multi-scenario analysis where if we do see the dollar drop, then hey, I'll focus attention on the euro dollar pushing higher. If we do see the dollar bounce from that 1.02 level, then I'm going to focus my attention on the Aussie, the Kiwi, or the pound dollar for that counter trend possibility. And you broke down if it retests 16293 to jump in. Kiwi dollar broke down 6293. It is very close. That would be, so M leader was saying 6293. That's actually right, almost there right now. You could be looking to sell down from that point. A little bit risky, a little bit early, I would say. Maybe wait for the hour to close. I think the safer one would be 6280, just because we really found a clear break as it traded down from that point. All right, pound dollar broke up. Oh man, all these movements while I'm talking. Look, it's moving as we're speaking. Why is it trading up? It's very interesting that the pound dollar is moving so much, and yet the Kiwi and the Aussie is actually coming close. Is there news? No news on this so far. All right, and the dollar is dropping, and the dollar is dropping. Such a choppy market it is. I'm torn in between doing a live trade together with you guys and completing the analysis. My mind's in 50 different directions right now. Okay, dollar. I'm still looking for this to go up. Might. Let me see. All right, so this is one of the things. It's outside of that Bollinger Band. We might see this close outside in the next 15 minutes, close outside the band, and then we might see a big retrace back down. I'm still looking for that retrace. I'm very uncomfortable to be looking to buy up out over this major high level. Okay, so we'll watch that. We spoke about the euro dollar already. Euro dollar actually pushing up, so that could happen quite nicely. US Swiss franc trading down, approaching the support level, moving in the same fashion to the dollar index, trading down. So still looking for it to come down, but I do have that 0.91 support level. And then beyond that, we have a tail at 0.9070, about a 30 pip move away. So about a 30 pip move away, you could be looking to sell down. I would prefer the euro dollar to buy up than selling the US Swiss franc to the downside. So if you look for it to close below 0.91, stop loss tight at about 15 to 20 pips, take profit at about almost 30 pips. You're looking at almost a 1:2 risk reward ratio to the downside on the US Swiss franc. This is a small trade. I'll still prefer the euro to this. Break 0.91, stop loss or sell with a stop loss of 15, TP of about 30. Just to that wick, that bottom of that wick at 0.9070. Okay, yeah, let's watch that. CAD was a quick trade that I did. I'm not sure. I don't think many of you did jump into the CAD trade. Let me know if you did. Just went down 40 pips. I think I got out even before 40 pips. Got out a bit earlier, about 35 or something. All right. So that was the CAD. At this very low point, support level there, we do have a next major support at 1.3326, about 100 pips away. It looks like it's going to consolidate within this range, right? It's going to consolidate here unless the dollar does drop very strongly. We do have the oil prices climbing slightly as well. That's going to drive prices down. So we're looking to see whether, if it breaks below 1.3415, you could look to sell down. Stop loss about 30. Take profit about 60 to 70 to 80 pips. So I would say there. You can do about 30 pips, 25 even if you want, just because it's breaking that round number level, not round number, but a key level. So 25 pip, 70 pips to the downside on the US CAD. Just be careful, like Bill was just saying on YouTube here, very choppy price action at this point. So just be extra cautious, all right? US CAD, we're still continuing to sell down 1.34, 1.340. No, let's be safer. below 1.34, stop loss 30 pips, take profit 60 pips, right? Sell below 1.34, stop loss 30, TP 60. I want to find the safest option. I'm not here to go gunslinging, go crazy, but so let's find the safest option. That looks like it's going to move, keep moving down. So we're looking for that to continue. All right, and as the dollar keeps dropping, then I'm sure Jan B is going to say pound dollar is still shooting up, looking for it to test and in 10 minutes, hopefully retrace. If not, then I'll look at the euro dollar as a possible trade to the upside, especially if it breaks above that resistance level. All right, so you got my priority of trades that I'm looking at as well. Gold, we spoke about this. I didn't manage. I was just too many trades, too many accounts that I was managing. Gold did shoot up. I did a quick scalp on gold on my challenge account, my prop trading account, but nothing significant. Right now, it's right in the middle. Did you get onto gold? Did anyone trade gold yesterday? Right, as it broke up above that trend line within that range, you'll notice that it would probably be in the middle of this channel right now. So if I did a line on this channel, it's probably right in the middle. I'm not going to do the whole pitchfork and all that kind of other strategies for you right now, but it looks like it's right in the middle of the channel. I do think that if we see the dollar index continue to drop, we could see gold trade up and retest that 2000 level. All right, so I'll still be looking for buying opportunities on gold. Possibly a quick one will be if it does break and close above 9888, then we could see 2000 as a quick trade to retest that key resistance level. All right, so gold upside from 0.1 or 1988 to 2000. Okay. All right, guys, if you haven't already, do me that huge favor, click that thumbs up button, click that rocket ship button on TradingView. Our dollar index look like it's moving quite nicely to the level that we're looking at. With that, then the question, since I have the pound yen here, let's look at pound yen, then I'll do the DEX. Somebody asked about DEX, so I'll do that shortly as well. Pound yen, where's my pound yen? Hey, look at that. Went down. So we're looking for this either to, at that point where we spoke about it yesterday, to trade up, test, and reject. Didn't happen. Why didn't I signal trade here? Ranging between this range. Okay. So I was looking, either that it's going to come down, test the support, and trade up. Did exactly that. So I think Angel Case always asks about pound yen. So did you get onto the pound yen as it bounced off that 164 round number support level, trading up, right? With the way the dollar, with the pound dollar is trading to the upside, we could see the pound yen push above that resistance level, but just be extra careful. Again, I keep saying that, just be extra careful, because somewhat expecting a big deep retracement on the pound dollar that could cause the pound yen to retrace back down as well. All right, and you can see that same thing, right? In Feb this year, end of Feb this year, it shot up from 165.50 to almost 166 or 166, and then a big strong retrace back down. So I'll rather be looking for it to push up and then look for that sell back down again. All right, and then the DEX. Approaching that resistance level. I usually look at index on H4 time frame. approaching that resistance. So if, well, it's at that point, look for it. If it, I don't think it'll break. I don't think there are any big drivers to cause it to break to the upside, and it is at a very significant high. The last time we got to this level was last year in Feb, and it rejected and turned down. So I'm looking at potential downside potential on the DEX for Fox 107, asking on that question on the DEX. With that said, I went through my charts quite quickly today, less than an hour. Any questions? Any questions? You can see the impact of the dollar dropping is, the impact of the dollar dropping is, I'll just take the pound yen away for now because we didn't have anything on that. The impact of the dollar dropping is showing now on the Kiwi as it retraced. So M leader, I hope you did wait before jumping in. All right, so it did bounce, or it's sitting in that level, no change, consolidating at that range. XAU USD, I was looking at that as a possible trade up, right? I was looking for it to break above that middle line. I'm looking for it to break above that 1988 line and hopefully get to 2000, depending on what Mr. Dollar Index does here. Okay, good. M leader is still waiting. It used to be so hard to get him to wait for a trade. He would be within a sentence of me, within me speaking one sentence, he would have got into 3 trades already. So bond yields are up, but US dollar down. The thing about bond yields and the dollar is that sometimes the yields lead the dollar, sometimes the dollar leads the yield. Typically, it should not be the case. So just, I would say that getting or developing a view just because of yield is a bit dangerous, right, BL? But I do use it as a longer term view rather than a short term indicator. Okay, what was I doing? I was looking at that dollar. What's this? Aussie dollar still looking like it's going to push down, so we're still waiting to see what happens on the dollar index. US yen trading back down, right? So it's just fluctuating within this range. Pound dollar still pushing up. There's something happening on the pound because everything else is moving, or pound dollar is moving in against everything else, right? Euro has retraced slightly. US Swiss franc as well. So we're looking for that to break. And then the US CAD also at that level, no clear direction. All right. A lot easier today compared to yesterday when, as we were talking, the dollar was, breaking. This was yesterday at 3 o'clock. As we were talking, it was that big reversal. I was rushing to try and get into a, end the session and get into a trade. We did see it drop. I think it's going to close, might have a bit of a retrace and then a continuation to the downside. So just watch out for that on the dollar. Okay. Hey, you guys, as we come towards the end of the session, you haven't told me yet what kind of educational topics you would be looking for tomorrow, right? So put it into the chat if there's anything in particular that you would like to find out more about. I did have someone say, Osomulad, say, I've just started to learn trading. Any tips? It's good to learn, and it's good to learn trading. I'm 19 years old. Welcome to the world of trading. It's a lot to learn, a lot to experience. Nothing can shortcut the screen time. You know, do not rush. Do view it as view this as a long-term investment into a skill set. So don't rush. Don't try and make $1 million by tomorrow. You will get there. It just takes time, takes patience, takes a balanced mindset. All right. BL says how to scalp effectively. Okay. So tomorrow, after the daily market analysis at 3 p.m., I'll take a short break from 4 to 4:30, and then we'll continue on from 4:30 for a session on how to scalp effectively. All right. Hopefully, the market is moving well by then, and then we can get into possibly some, live market analysis on scalping. With that, hey Suki, hi Jin, I learned a lot from you and I watch you. I use moving averages, so maybe something like that. Okay, so I have scalping and then moving average. No worries. Would love to hear again the thoughts of re-entering scalp trades. Watch the recorded video. Good. All right, Wayne says, yes, scalp technique. I love scalping. I used to do scalping in front of, at a live event in many different countries as well. I've done that. Just need prices to move for, to show a scalping trade. But I'm sure we can go through the ideas and concepts of how to scalp effectively. All right, so with that, do trade well, trade safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care now. Bye bye.